Hey there, it's Stephanie Shea, Chief Astrologer of janspiller.com, and I'm here with your September astrological forecast. September is kind of a dynamic month. These energies are going to help us face our past, deal with reality, and realize that we're all in this together. We're kicking off eclipse season this month with a lunar eclipse at 25 degrees of Pisces on September the 17th. This is an emotionally powerful eclipse, and it's going to oppose the sun in Virgo, bringing up themes of perfectionism, duty, obligation, and the need to be seen through compassionate eyes. Traditionally, lunar eclipses are known to bring events to a head that have been brewing over the past 6 months since the last eclipse season, which happened back in March and April of this year. So you can kind of think back to what was brewing then. Lunar eclipse time is often when we see what's really going on. And with this eclipse in the sign of Pisces, we're probably going to become aware of something that has been disguised in illusion. Very eye-opening time. So this eclipse event, as well as some of September's other astrological energies, could reveal some plot twists in this already very unpredictable US election. You're like, what? More plot twist? Yes. Get ready. The Pisces lunar eclipse energy will probably create tension between those who are really focused on the task at hand and the other group of people seeing beyond the immediate goal and considering human well-being from a compassionate perspective. It's not always about getting ahead or making progress. What about people? We need to be gentle with ourselves and others during the days around this eclipse. Now, the other astrological headline of September, and it's a big one, involves Pluto re-entering the sign of Capricorn for the final time in our lifetime before moving into Aquarius for the next 20 years, starting in late November. So we're really just getting September, October, and part of November. That's it for Pluto and Capricorn. For anyone alive right now, it's going to be another almost 250 years before it comes back into Capricorn. So Pluto's been retrograde since May, and it's actually retrograded so far back, from the early degrees of Aquarius, that it goes back into 29 degrees of Capricorn on September 1st. I've found often when planets are in the final stages of their transit through a sign, their energy seems especially powerful. And in the case of Pluto, this is especially true as this planet will be transmitting important final messages to the humans alive on the planet at this time. Now, Pluto first entered Capricorn back in 2008. And since then, we've been encouraged to focus on what is corrupt, unhealthy, and out of balance related to power, authority, and existing structures. The journey of Pluto through Capricorn has forced us to see the reality of situations that we'd really rather not deal with, such as human suffering due to economic inequality, war, disease, toxins that are polluting our food and water supply. We're apt to become acutely aware of any problems caused by imbalances of power, because Pluto rules power, so does Capricorn, during the final months of this Pluto and Capricorn time. We'll be wise to take heed of I would call it final warnings. It's a very kind of somber energy, like, okay, I've been trying to tell you, pay attention to these things. If we do that, then we'll have the opportunity to be aware of the power we hold. When Pluto moves into Aquarius, we're going to realize that if we work together to solve problems that affect all humans, how much power is available. We are not victims of our circumstance. We actually have that, but we have to first identify what needs to be changed and then be willing to work together. So this is this transition between Pluto and Capricorn and Pluto and Aquarius, making this a very unique time in history. Now, other astrology that's kind of backing up what's going on, big picture with Pluto, I would say is Jupiter and Saturn. I talked about that in the August forecast as far as a square, which is just a tense aspect between planets that can kind of bring issues to a head. It is separating and being felt less as the month progresses. However, it's as we start the month, there's this feeling of power struggles and vying for control. Saturn is highlighting the need to set boundaries, while Jupiter is pushing to expand beyond limitation. Not really agreeing completely. Globally, it's not an ideal time for negotiation, for example. Rigid energy can prevent people from seeing what will be best for the greater good. I would say conflicts over borders could continue and perhaps escalate. In our personal lives, we might need to discern between favorable opportunities and unreasonable requests of our time and energy. We're more likely to experience pressure to do more than we feel comfortable doing under this astrology. However, it can also be tempting to close ourselves off to new ideas. So we have to assess each situation and ask, okay, are we simply reacting out of fear? Or are our concerns about embarking on whatever it is in question, are these valid? Slow, cautious expansion is advised over any plan that requires drastic changes in a short amount of time. So, yeah, if you have to choose slow, cautious versus drastic changes in a short amount of time. Now, we've got the equinox this month. The equinox is when the tilt of the Earth's axis is inclined neither away from nor towards the sun, equal daylight hours in many places. The equinox on September 22nd ushers in the predominance of the energies of the third three signs of the zodiac: Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius. So it starts out with the sun moving into Libra on the 22nd. These signs are social in nature, and they also rely on working with others for personal survival. They seek to relate with others beyond immediate family members and instinctive love connections. It's a much bigger connection there. So Libra is recognizing the objective identity of the other person and seeing how they can fit together as a team. Scorpio sees into the emotional depths of those they're relating to and seeks kindred souls they can bond with. Sagittarius responds to the urge to uplift society, and the emphasis is on reaching loftier goals of religion, philosophy, and the law. They feel drawn to help raise people's spirits through helpful deeds, a joyous and trusting nature, and an interest in spirituality, culture, and the arts. So I really like to share these words of wisdom about the equinox that come from Jan Spiller's astrological writing. We're fortunate to still have some of her original writing for janspiller.com. And so she says the best uses of this time of year: be willing to understand the significant others in your life more deeply. What are their unique qualities, their strengths and vulnerabilities? What do they need to be happy, and what motivates them? This information can help you create more cooperation in important relationships. Participate in activities that lift your spirits. During these months, attend spiritual gatherings or cultural events. Develop a more trusting and positive attitude by spending time in activities that feed your soul. So, those are all words of wisdom straight from Jan Spiller about the equinox. And as you know, it's the fall equinox in the northern hemisphere, but in the southern hemisphere, it's the spring equinox. Either way, you're going to feel the astrological energies the same way. The only difference is it's a different season. So, aligning with our true selves is going to be another big theme this month. We've got Uranus, the planet of radical change, quite active starting on September 1st. Uranus is going to be retrograde until January 30th of next year. Now, unlike these inner planet retrogrades, we just finished Mercury retrograde. When Uranus is retrograde, we don't feel it on a day-to-day basis. However, as the month begins, I think right when Uranus is what they call stationing retrograde, we could feel a shift from being affected by our external circumstances to realizing that we're the ones who's actually changing. I'm sure you have all had that where you're like, why are they so different? Why does this situation feel different than it used to be? And then you realize you're the one who's different. You had the realizations and are now seeing it through different eyes. This is what I think happens during Uranus retrograde. Um, so you can use the next 5 months while Uranus is retrograde to notice how you feel and strategize to put yourself in situations that align more with who you are now. I think another big aspect going on with Uranus is going to be this trine to Pluto. It's pretty brief. This astrology doesn't last very long, but it is all month. And it's because Pluto has gone into that late degree of Capricorn. And Uranus is going to be at a late degree of Taurus. So when you get two earth signs at similar degrees, it's called a trine. It's where the energy flows more easily. So Uranus and Pluto are both wanting change, but usually Pluto uproots things much more slowly. So I think Uranus is going to help speed up changes that have been a long time coming. We can capitalize on this beneficial astrology by paying attention to what's going on around us and refusing to go into denial about anything we'd rather not see. These two planets are not about sticking our head in the sand, but once we're willing to confront difficult matters, we're going to feel this boost this month of strength and support to speak up, work towards a positive solution. So, with Uranus and Pluto in the earth signs, I was thinking a lot about the realities of environmental problems coming to light in a very attention capturing way. Natural disasters, toxic spills, none of this is good news, but I think the innovative nature of Uranus can provide inventions and technology designed to improve the health of our planet. So there could be, let's say, a silver lining that comes out of some of this. Now, as I mentioned, Mercury is moving direct, and we clear the shadow of the last Mercury retrograde cycle that was August 5th through 28th. The shadow phase clears September 12th. We'll begin the month with Mercury in Leo, which could turn our attention more to leisure and recreational activities. So it might take until about September 9th when Mercury moves into Virgo to start feeling extra productive this month. And I'd say since we clear that shadow on September 12th, the days between September 12th and 30th are probably your most powerful days this month for organizing and implementing new plans. I do think love will be in the air this month. Venus is going to be in the sign of Libra, encouraging romantic connections. So, whether you're attached or single, there's support this month to forge new relationships. And this is relationships of all kinds. Business dealings are really favored because Venus is the ruler of money. I would say take the time to do things you enjoy under this astrology. You'll probably find that shared experiences are going to feel more satisfying than solo pursuits. Now, on the equinox, September 22nd, Venus enters Scorpio. This will create a mood of intensity and emotional awareness. You could be motivated to share how you really feel towards the end of the month. Scorpio also rules passion and physical attraction. So blossoming romances could really heat up as the month closes. Mars will continue to be in Gemini all month, supporting activities related to learning and diversifying your skill set. You'll probably be feeling the most productive when you multitask. It's going to be more difficult to stick to routines or focus on one thing for too long. So try to break up your workflow. It's a good month to meet new people and set your sights on a goal that require you to learn something new. Your best strategy under Mars and Gemini is going to be to think before acting. Your ability to plan will increase the fulfillment that you're going to feel when you do take action. Now, we've got this Virgo new moon, and the Virgo new moon is on September 2nd. This new moon is really powerful time period to set intentions related to themes ruled by the sign of Virgo. So if you don't have Jan Spiller's book, New Moon Astrology, I highly recommend it. It's such a practical tool for manifesting with the new moon every month. And Virgo rules a lot, practical helpfulness, planning, tasks and errands, handling details, orderly environments, anything to do with your job or work projects, relationships with coworkers, and it rules anything to do with health, diet, and exercise in your routines. So if you have been trying to get going with healthier eating, with exercising, this is the new moon to focus on those intentions. And if you get new moon astrology, Jan will even include in this book sample, she calls them wishes. You can call them intentions or wishes or whatever you want to call them, but sample wishes to help you phrase these wishes in just the right way. So you might say, I want to all confusion and over analyzing of my situation easily lifted from me. Because if you think, okay, Virgo rules analyzation and you're trying to clear that energy, I want to easily find myself effectively responding to external crises without inner tension. That's another one. I want all self-defeating tendencies to perfectionism easily lifted from me. These are just straight out of her book, and I highly recommend getting a copy and using that as your guide for setting intentions. I hope you can make the most of September's energy. It's going to feel refreshing coming out of that Mercury retrograde, and you'll be able to get a lot accomplished. And I think just clear up any confusion that may have happened last month. Have a wonderful month. I look forward to seeing you in October.